Oh, well. What you gonna do? What we got here, huh? Whee! But yeah, it happens. Sometimes it be like that. I don't know, go this way first. Or something or other. Yoink. Silver bullets. Man, someone's friggin' noisy. Really darn noisy, huh? Open up. Don't see anything else over there. Do you mind? Okay. Quicksilver bullets. Ow. Wow, oh, the lever's, like, right here. So there's other side stuff that I could explore, but I mean, like... I don't know, maybe I will? Whoops. Did that way too early. Yoink. Boop. I've got so much blood in my pocket. Here, whatever. Is that where I came in? What are you? Where's that one ladder? Should I go see if there's any good loot first? I mean, this is the Hintertomb Chalice. Is it gonna be that important? Can't help myself. Just really quickly check. Is there anything that important? Oh, that just loops to here. So it wasn't here that I came. I gotcha. Whatever. Just do this then. God, I hate those enemies. They move at Mach 10 and FNAF jump scare you. They really do. They really do be zooming. Out here with the foxy run. Oh, I didn't even see the item here before. There's so much blood in my pocket. It was mostly found on the sidewalk in small vials with no names on them. Yeah, officer, I have a prescription for that. I guess I'll do the side thing first. I suppose I will get some stuff. I'm probably not gonna need the ritual ingredients, but just in case, wow. Right through the wall, huh? Do we have anything here? Oh, I got a license for that blood. Then I stabbed the officer with my unregistered button knife. Let's see here. What the hell is happening behind me? I don't know and I don't care. Let's just keep going, I guess. Down first because I feel like it. They are so noisy. The SX special. Squeezy. I'm in this room again, but the lower level. Wow. Okay, that did a lot more to me than I was expecting. Oh, he actually moved over here a lot faster than I expected. Wow. Do you mind? Okay, well, I'm just gonna go this way, I think. Well, I bet you that's how they mug people over in the UK. They pull out their cannon. Okay, let's just go up here. Yoink. Squeezy. I definitely wasn't up this way before. Yoink. Yoink. Take all those. Go this way. Open the door, I guess. Here's a loot. Whoa. Uh-oh. I'll read that in a second when I'm not worried about dying. There we go. I'm not worried about dying. I was about to say, Harmonia, I first found you on YouTube when your broken diamond and shipped early pearl video found its way into my recommendations. Oh, nice. Thanks for that. That was an hour well spent. It was as educational as it was entertaining. Quite. Oh, sweet pebbles. He's pulling his cannon out. That's right. Anyway, well, sorry that I keep getting distracted by other things here. I greatly appreciate you saying so. I'm glad you enjoyed that video there. Whoa. What? What? Maybe that's all loot. I don't know. Here, let's just kill you real quick. Boop, and then I'll do this. Oh, he had it. Whatever. Yeah, and now Legend ZA is coming out next week, and I'll play that. And I might do a similar video on Legend ZA. We'll see. It depends on how much time I have. And how many things it seems like there are to say about that. We shall see. But yeah, some of those Pokemon ones have been really funny. Really fun, really funny to make. Really funny to laugh at a lot of the glitches and stuff. Forgotten Madman. Because, yeah, a lot of the stuff about them is honestly baffling. Like the fact that, in the case of BDSP, for example, that, you know, Ilka had never actually... He is my thing! Had never actually made a full video game before. It's like, what? Wow, that actually reached... The Legend CA is also made with Unity and might have just as much to say. Maybe. But BDSP was made in Unity with a bunch of stuff just like copy-pasted over from the original BDSP. The original Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. So I don't know how bug-filled it would be by nature of, like, porting stuff over. I can do that too. Well, let's just play this out. I was thinking about finding some way to, like, really get him, but whatever. Just play the game, I guess. Just swing generically. Oh! Madman's escort! Oh, he's got a hammer! Woo! Oh my god, they're doing things! Here, run into me. Hell yeah! Boop. Boop. There we go. That's how you play this game. You just charge up heavy, let them move into you. What? Sometimes. Madman's escort. Oh, that reached me. I was hoping that it would just barely miss or something. Man. Look, I have lots of these. Just whatever. Throw one because it's funny. Oh. Now stay there. Ah. Whatever. I'll just play, I guess. Just do regular swings. Stop going for these heavy attacks. It's whatever. My regular swings are doing so much damage here anyway. This will be the last chalice dungeon where I can say that. There we go. Didn't even need to buff an extra attack. Alright, well, there's the Madman gone. Lower Hintertomb Root Chalice. Wouldn't there be a... Oh, it's here. But yeah. Let's see here. After BDSP, Ilka then proceeded to make that massive one-piece RPG. The BDSP modding scene is fantastic. Yeah, that's the nice thing about making things in Unity. Like, I've never made a game mod before. But I've made a decent few short video games before as part of university. Half of which were in Unity. I'm sure if I wanted to make a BDSP mod, I probably could. It's an interesting idea, actually, now that I think about it. Have a look at what it looks like. Write some C# code and stuff. Hell, I even copied and pasted from the emulation. Even included the black lines. Yeah, the thing that was previously only an emulator issue. Man, what an absolute mess with a BDSP. I think BDSP and Scarlet and Violet were like the most crazy disaster messes in very different ways. It'll be interesting to see what Legend ZA is like. I feel like going this way first. See what we've got going on with that game. Who knows? Like, some things of it visually finally look really good. Some things still don't, like the same basic repeating window texture on every single building. It's just flat with the same repeating texture. Like, really? But in terms of gameplay, I have no idea, like, whether it's gonna be good, whether it's gonna be bad. I feel like it's either gonna be fantastic or terrible. In terms of the very different gameplay. We shall see. I guess I'll find out next week. That game comes out literally the day before HoloLand. So I guess I'll stream, like, maybe the beginning of it. And then, actually I have a decent few, Blood Echoes. Maybe I'll just kill you and then use a mark. I was gonna let you kill me, but I changed my mind. Hey. I'm gonna die to you anyway, just watch. I miss. Crap, man. This is more effort than it's worth, damn it! There, just do that, just so I can get these bullets and keep this whatever. Legend ZA needs to be the redemption arc, at least the start of it. Here's hoping. I wonder if I should put a poll in the channel about, like, do we start a smidge of ZA on Thursday next week when it comes out? Or do I just save it until the next day, HoloLand, and I just start that playthrough at HoloLand? Because while it's not self-contained, at least it's the beginning of something. At LAN events, I like to do things that are self-contained first and foremost, and then things that are like the start of something second most. Just so that if anyone's tuning into just a LAN playlist, they don't have to worry about having missed like super important vital stuff. and they have to tune into like all these other playlists of like all these different series just to get caught up. I mean, if it's just the very intro of Legends EA that I do on my own time, like I have a lot of things I want to do at HoloLand. There's DLC of this plus beating the game. There's a Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus that is like my planned main game. I'll do another DLC of Assassin's Creed Valhalla since I need to keep on chipping away at that game. My god. And then since I'm slowly going through the Telltale Walking Dead games, I figured I'd do the Telltale Walking Dead Michonne game because I just beat Season 2, and before they released Season 3, they released this Michonne game that's like 3 episodes and it's like a shorter thing that I presume was meant to capitalize off the popularity of the show and the character in the show. So that'll be like a short self-contained thing. So I have like 4 things that I've planned to do at HoloLand. Bloodborne, DLC and being the game, Assassin's Creed Valhalla DLC, main playthrough being the third-person shooter of Dirge of Cerberus, and then like a short Telltale game. Just to keep on chipping away at my Telltale series. And then if I have time on top of that, which I don't know if I will, maybe I will, because that's already a lot of stuff to cram into the, like, 48 hours of this LAN event, essentially. Oh, and Mario Kart. I forgot I'm doing Mario Kart at this LAN event. Community games, by the way, Friday evening, if anyone feels like hopping into Mario Kart World. It'll only be people there playing locally that'll be eligible for the trophy that I'm 3D printing, since I did a Mario Kart event during Mega LAN. And then the main organizer of the Mega FPS events, oh, he had my runes, or my echoes, that's funny, had reached out to me on Discord a couple weeks ago and asked if I had any interest in doing another Mario Kart event, because apparently there's going to be a few Mario Kart World players at HoloLand. So he was interested in seeing if I was interested in hosting a short Mario Kart event again. So I've been 3D printing a trophy lately. So 5 things. For a couple hours, I'm going to be hosting a Mario Kart event as well. I forgot about that. So 5 things. Will I have time for Legends EA on top of that is really the question. So maybe I should do some on the day that it releases, just so that I guarantee have some Legends EA stuff done for the weekend. Just because having time during HoloLand is definitely not a guarantee. Most of the game stuff I'll be doing will just be a matter of putting the right amount of hours that I'll get through. The thing that I'm most worried about is being stumped on a Bloodborne boss for a while, like in the DLC. That's going to be the biggest potential time sink. Biggest potential time loss to my HoloLand speedrun. Because while most people spend LAN events playing a bunch of games with one another, I'm like the one weirdo in the corner that uses it as an opportunity to play a bunch of games on my own. Outside of, like, events that I host, like the Mario Kart thing. And there's probably a good chance we'll have been playing Night Rain at HoloLand as well. Just because, like, Rise will probably lean over and ask, hey, wanna play some Night Rain? And I'll be like, sure, let's play some Night Rain. And when you're at a LAN event, and then instead of talking, like, a Discord voice call, I have the opportunity to just, like, play there and talk to one another, next to one another at our table. That's, like, such a much more fun experience. So, of course, I'm gonna want to do that there. So, like, Bloodborne, Walking Dead, Assassin's Creed, Dirge of Cerberus, Mario Kart, probably Night Rain are probably the 6 things going on at HoloLand. And I'm probably not going to have time on top of that. But if I do, maybe I do a little bit of Legends EA stuff since it will have just come out the day before. But it is going to be like the most pressed I've been for a LAN event in a while. Because I am crazy with the amount of stuff I give myself for these LAN events. But yeah, while I wouldn't say Scarlet and Violet are redeemed, I think it's safe to say a majority of the issues stem from the hardware. Everyone and their mothers started touting that those games run a lot better on the Switch 2. They did also put out like a specific update for the Switch 2 to make it run a lot better on there, for 1. And 2, it should also be the developer's responsibility to make sure that it runs well on the hardware they're making the game for. Is the case. It does look like an inbred GameCube game there. But yeah, we're joined by I refuse to buy a Switch 2 on principle. Yeah, that's... Oh, cool, flaming crossbow. That's fair. Boop. Oh, I still poked him. I've seen that most people have criticized the prices, and in terms of, like, just general cost of console and games, there was actually a video essay that I did on that, talking about effects like inflation was the biggest thing, where if we actually account for, like, inflation and the record-setting highs that it was at during COVID. Prices have actually stayed about the same. So, in terms of stuff with Nintendo, prices I don't have too much issue with. Prices in comparison to the products they're putting out, I have a little bit of issue with. Like, $30 for Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC for one island and a roguelike mode that gets, like, really tiring really fast. $30 for freaking Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Mario Party Jamboree that gives a couple new game modes, some mouse control mini games, and that's mostly it. Bowser TV, which is just like the biggest nothing burger ever for $30. What else was there? There was Kirby in the Forgotten Land Nintendo Switch 2 edition for $30, which was 12 levels and a new final boss. Like, ooh, that's really bang for your buck. When I could get something like, I bought Bloodborne for $20. You can buy something like Hollow Knight Silksong for $26. When you just consider the bang for your buck, it's like, yeah, this is, like, I know that this is, like, the standard for their DLC / expansion prices, but they are just not putting out things that are worth the price. Like, the product is lacking here. So even if, like, prices adjusted for inflation are about the same, they gotta step up their game with the products that they put out to remain competitive and be worthwhile as a consumer for me to buy. So I'm okay with the prices, asterisk, in that sense. I gotta be putting out things that are worth it. And you know, I generally liked Mario Kart World. I really liked Donkey Kong Bonanza, minus the DLC. That was the biggest waste of money ever. But the everything else about Nintendo lately, like, oh, you have a username we don't like? Yeah, let's brick your console. Oh, here's some competition that's coming up with Pal World, with Pocket Pair. Let's go after them for patent infringement, sue the shit out of him. So, there's a lot of things that they do as a business that I kind of, hate them for here. And there was a time on my channel that I used to cover, like, every major Nintendo release that came out, like a new major Nintendo game came out, I was picking it up and I was playing it on this channel. I'm not doing that anymore. One, Nintendo freaking sucks here. Two, while the prices may have, like, accounted for inflation, one, they're not always necessarily worth the price, and two, in that same video essay, I talk about how wages haven't exactly gone up in accordance with inflation. Like, things are getting more difficult to afford as a consumer, not only in gaming, but in all things, like grocery prices going up. So when you have less money to spend on things, you shouldn't be as willy-nilly picking things up. So there's that. And three, it's an opportunity for me to finally get caught up on other games that I've been meaning to play, like Bloodborne. There are so many games that have been out for, like, the past 2-3 decades here that are still, like, perfectly fine by modern standards and great games, or even just great things to check out as part of gaming history. Like, this summer, I finally took the time to play the original Final Fantasy VII, for example. I'm really glad I took the time to play that. So, I'm no longer picking up, like, every Nintendo thing that comes out. And it's a great opportunity for me to finally get around to playing games I've been wanting to for, like, ever. Like this one right here. That maybe I wouldn't have had the time for if I picked up every Nintendo game, like Drag X Drive this summer. The friggin' wheelchair basketball game, for example. Or what are other big Nintendo games that have come out lately that I haven't played? You know, whatever. You get my point there. But yeah, I got Sonic Crossworlds and no desire to buy Switch 2 for Mario Kart. Do want to buy Crossworlds? I've heard it's pretty good there. Bloodborne DLC has the 4 hardest Bloodborne bosses, so you may get stuck. So level up a little bit more before then. There's 5 bosses in the DLC, and 4 of them are in the top 5 hardest bosses of the game. Huh. So not as bad as the new Xbox prices. Switch 2 Kirby is worth it for the final boss gotten let alone, IMO. That did go pretty hard. Prices, in my book, are the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, I do understand the circumstance that led to the increase, but I'm no less against them. Yeah, for sure. Like, I know that a lot of people are against Nintendo right now, but the thing that kind of always not ticks me off, but sets me up. What's the, catches my attention? What's the best, word here? Just the thing that makes me go like, really? Is when people are like prices alone. Where it's like, okay, we gotta consider the yen has been devaluated compared to foreign currencies by a lot. Record-setting levels of inflation, where if we actually account for inflation, the prices aren't actually going up. Tariffs that affect all of the Americas, considering cartridges are being sent into Washington State. That's where they're packaged and sent out across the Americas. So even if we're in Canada here, we still eat the tariff. And then like just like bigger cartridges, I guess, stuff like that, and then a bunch of minor little things like that. So when it's prices alone, it just kind of makes me go, like, I get it, especially when we're in a market where stuff is getting more difficult to afford, but, you know, it should be that, like, they're not making products that are worth these prices in this day and age, rather than their greed is unreal to charge these prices, where it's like, okay, it's kind of hypocritical to be mad at $70 in 2025 if you weren't mad at 60 in 2017. Or 2012 with, like, the Wii U. A Wii U game at $60 USD is more than a $70 Switch 2 game in 2025. So, you know, when it's priced alone, it makes me go, isn't it a little bit hypocritical when these prices are actually cheaper than it was back when, if we're actually accounting for, like, dollar value here? So, but there's a lot of things to be hating Nintendo for right now. And, I do think that they're not necessarily making things that are worth the prices that they're charging, especially in wake of, like, competition stuff. Like, another example here was, things like Breath of the Wild are still full price. Here in Canada, full price for a long time was $80. Now it's $100 or $110, like Donkey Kong Bonanza would be $100. Mario Kart World would be $110. And Switch 1 games, I thought would remain $80. They actually upped the price here in Canada for Switch 1 games to $85. Including ones that have been out for, like, years and years. So if you went out to buy a copy of Breath of the Wild in Canada earlier this year, it would have been $80. But after the Switch 2 release, it now costs $85, when this game released, like, 7, nearly 8 years ago. And the example that I was using on stream here a whole lot is as I'm going through the Final Fantasy VII games, like, I just played through Crisis Core during Fragapalooza a couple months ago. I'll probably do Remake after I'm done with Dirge of Cerberus, and then finally Rebirth. Like, it's gonna be a while before I properly play these games. I figured I'll just get them when I see them for a good price. I bought Rebirth a couple months ago for, like, $45 Canadian. So looking at something like Breath of the Wild, where they don't drop the price at all, and in fact are increasing it over time, now it's $85. When, for reference, I can get something that just came out last year, like one of the biggest games that came out last year, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, for $45. That's a good price right there. I saw that price online when usually the game is $90 here, but it seems like recently they brought down the standard price of this to $60, and as they did that, they also put it on sale for 25% off for $45, and I was like, that's a good price. I'm buying Rebirth here. So when you just consider, like, bang for your buck, like, the price that Nintendo is charging compared to just other retailers that are actually willing to mark down their prices and cut better deals and stuff like that. You know? I can't get over the fact that I got this game for $45 while Nintendo's charging prices that they are. Who knows? Maybe I'll play this game and then I'll hate it. Maybe this game sucks. But that seemed like a pretty good price to me. But yeah, those remaining reasons, those are essentially why I won't pick up a Switch 2 on principle. Yep, that is very much fair. The agony I feel knowing that I need to for Duskbloods. Duskbloods, like Bloodborne, is gothic horror-like, and it's a Switch 2 exclusive. Duskbloods and FE Fortune's Weave are all I care about for the Switch 2. That's fair. It's the way they are pricing their games. It's the way they are distributing their Switch 2 games. I'll say it as many times as necessary. CD Projekt Red are the goats for shoving the entirety of Cyberpunk 2077 and the Phantom Library in the card. I don't actually know what the Phantom Library is, but I know Cyberpunk 2077 and CD Projekt Red. I've never actually played a CDPR game before. I want to one of these days. It's paywalling the hardware tutorial. It's a whole thing with remotely bricking the consoles. Hell, the whole thing with the non-ownership of the console. Yep. They're forking over $500 to rent a console that Nintendo can just give you the middle finger if they so much as if you think you have tinkered with it. Yep. Phantom Life. Okay, so it's the expansion, it's the DLC there. Gotcha. The whole thing with, like, the big push for the game key cards. Like, I thought game key cards are just going to be a thing that they're providing for third parties and isn't going to be, like, the new standard or anything. But I've heard rumor, I don't know if this is true because it's just, like, on the rumor mill, it can't be confirmed. But supposedly, the reason why, like, 90% of the third-party games on the Switch 2 so far have been game key cards is because, like, the only options are, like, the 64GB cartridge or, like, the super tiny minuscule cartridge, supposedly. Again, who knows if that's true. Apparently, the people behind Final Fantasy VII Remake, this is coming to the Switch 2 in January next year, had said the reason why this is on a game key card is because the standard cartridges don't have the right load speeds that they need or something, which would make me think, okay, so the game loads faster if you own it, or the game loads slower if it's on physical rather than digital. Who cares? Don't people usually assume that if they buy physical rather than digital with a lot of consoles anyway? Doesn't that just come with the territory? So I don't know what this whole it doesn't have the right load times means. Maybe it fundamentally breaks the game in some way when, like, enemies and stuff aren't loading in the times that they need to. But it also used to be the expectation that if you're porting a game over to a console, you are doing the things that you need to, like, properly port it over. Final Fantasy VII Remake on Switch 2 is essentially going to be digital only. So, I don't know if it's third parties that are to be blamed in this scenario or whether it's Nintendo. But the fact that almost every single third-party game on the Switch 2 is a game keycard so far. Like, the most notable non-game keycard is Cyberpunk 2077. But the fact that, like, almost every single other one is a game keycard infuriates me as someone that loves to preserve digital media. Just gaming media. Like, freaking, look at my shelf back there, for example. I'm someone that owns a lot of video games. It's kind of hard to see a lot of them past my 3D printer. Boop. And past, like, a bunch of things that are on there. But I own a lot of video games. Even look at all the Switch games and stuff there. Here, reset. Like, I believe very much in game preservation. Preserving the history of media and everything here. But the whole game keycards thing, it just really kills my motivation to get a lot of Switch games. Let's go on to something that actually has a little bit of soundtrack here. Like, I've played all the Octopath Traveler games as they came out. I played Octopath Traveler 1, 2, and even Champions of the Continent I did a little part of a playthrough of. And Octopath Traveler 0 is coming out the same day as Metroid Prime 4, actually, December 4th. It's releasing on the Switch 1 and the Switch 2. But the thing is, the Switch 2 version is a game keycard. The Switch 1 version, it's on the cartridge. And there's no option to buy the Switch 2 upgrade. So you can't buy the Switch 1 version to own it on the cartridge and then buy the Switch 2 upgrade to be able to play the Switch 2 version. It's either you're content with it really being digital only for Switch 2, or you buy the inferior Switch 1 version and then you actually own something on the cartridge. And that division of Square Enix, Team Asano there, have been doing a few things that have been pissing me off for a few years now. And that, I think, is kind of the straw that breaks the camel's back. So even though I've done everything in the Octopath Traveler series up to this point, and I've played a shit ton of Team Asano games, I don't think I'm buying Octopath Traveler 0 kinda on principle there. Like, maybe I'll buy it on Steam one day. I own all the Octopath games on my Switch, so it would kind of suck having something digitally on Steam instead of adding it to my Switch library. But if I add it to the Switch library, it's either have the inferior one or own it digitally only, and I don't want to do that. So maybe one day I'd pick it up on Steam on, like, a Steam summer sale or something like that a year or two down the line if I really felt like playing it. But playing it on launch, I don't think I'm interested. I think that killed my interest. I don't think I'm picking up Octopath 0. I'm not too interested there. But yeah, let's see here. I love FromSoftware and their games, even though I think I won't like Dustbloods. I want to give it a fair chance. That's fair enough. Hello, DS Shock Trooper. How's it going? Excuse me my language, but I think I spell bullshit. Even if it's not, you set yourself, Harmonia. Who cares if the game loads slower? Yeah, that's what I would think when it comes to Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I had thought, like, oh, no, not power. After I'm done with Dirge of Cerberus, I'm probably going to start 7 Remake late this year or early next year. One, just because I was planning on playing this next year anyway. I may as well do it sometime around the time that, if I have time, I may as well do it sometime around the time it's releasing on Switch 2, and then maybe people are tuning into stuff with the channel and are like, oh, I heard that was coming to the Switch 2. I'm intrigued in seeing what this game is like, so maybe I'll be playing it during a time that it's semi-trending, I don't know. But I feel like there's a lot of people that are in this camp where they're going to have no interest in Final Fantasy VII Remake on the Switch 2, because it's digital exclusive, essentially. But yeah, let's see here. Hoping Chip refuses to put Dark Deity 2 on a game keycard. Here's hoping. If Chip does look into that, I would be interested in talking to him to ask what cartridge options are provided to you as, like, an actual developer here. Because I want to know, like, if this whole thing with you either have the most minuscule cartridges ever or 64 gigs and those are your only options or go game keycard, or if that's complete bullshit. Like, what's going on here, if he knows. I could ask him. I'd definitely be curious. Hello, Hikari. How's it going? Know if he'll respond, but I could. I'd just be curious if he's looking into anything with, like, putting the game on the Switch 2 there. When I bought my PS4 last year, Bloodborne was the very first game I bought for it. Sought out the Game of the Year edition, so it includes the DLC, and told myself it has to be physical. I should have sought out, like, the version of that. I didn't even think about that. After I got this console, I immediately saw Bloodborne on the shelf for 20 bucks, and I was like, okay, I'll pick it up. And then, like, about a month ago, I got the DLC for, like, 11.5 bucks, and it wasn't that bad there. You know, the Minecraft DLC is live on Sonic Racing Crossbows, and everyone's playing Creeper Nice. That's exactly what I did. Ordered the Game of the Year edition new for £25, so in case something happens with the PSN support / connection to the PS4, still have the full experience to go back to. Yeah, nice there. The physical version may not be completely up to date with patches, but I don't know about that. It's a full game and includes the DLC on disc. That's the best thing. That's the best thing that you could ask for when it comes to physical media. No! Fuck. Don't save it. I just hit the... Uh-oh. I was just hitting the attack button, picking up my controller just as a kind of thing that someone does, you know? I just instinctively turned. Don't worry, the doll dying doesn't matter, she comes back. I thought I had heard with speedruns that it's, like, faster to kill her. And so I'd assume that she doesn't come back. But maybe that's just, like, to skip dialogue and, like, a single instance that you're leveling up there. What have you done? I'm sorry, Redora Master. I didn't mean to. I should go grab food here in a sec. Just dialogue skip. Okay. I panicked. I was really worried for a second there. But yeah. Also, let me respond to a text here that I missed earlier. I should go grab some food here, because I have not yet eaten. But I might just send an email to my Taekwondo Dojang. I'm still coughing a whole bunch here, and not feeling 100%, so, okay, so she'll come back when, like, I revisit here, right? Will be the case. It should be. Because, yeah, I, 1, don't want to be spreading my sickness around, and 2, you know, if I'm sick myself, I don't want to be killing myself by going and training. In the early builds of Bloodborne, I believe the doll could die for good until you got hold of a repair kit. Okay. Okay, I was a little worried there. If I'm just chipping away where I can, and a whole bunch of people are tuning in and chatting and stuff right now, maybe I'll grab food and play while I eat and just play on autopilot or something. I don't know. We'll see. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Let me go grab some food, and then I'll put another chalice in and see what's going on. Yeah, I'm receiving texts here. Give me a moment. I'll be back in a couple minutes. I'm gonna grab some food. Because, yeah, when I'm working full-time and I don't have as much time for streaming, I'm wedging the time in where I can and getting done my little checklist of pre-Halloween stuff. So this is what it comes to.